Hi guys, since it's almost time for re-election, we are going to take a look at the economic plans of Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton to see which candidate has the best plan for us to make America great again economically. If you take a look at Donald Trump's economic plan, then you see that he focused on the following points. 1. Tax reduction for everybody, reducing regulation. Number 3, negotiate trading deals. And number 4, invest in infrastructure. Let's take a closer look at Donald Trump's economic plan. Now, one of Donald's key plans is to decrease tax for everybody. So it's not only for the richest, which is often be claimed in the media. Here's what we think of Donald's tax plan. First of all, we think that Donald's tax cuts are amazing, because with these tax cuts, the American citizens will have some more cash in their pocket. Now, of course, the tax cuts benefits everyone. In the media, you probably only hear that the richest are benefiting from this. But they also forgot to mention that the middle class, the people who live from paycheck to paycheck, will also benefit from these tax cuts. We think eventually these tax cuts will benefit the average American worker more than the richest, because these kinds of changes have a huge impact in our lives compared to the richest. If they get a little bit more money or lesser money, their lifestyle won't change that much. Now, if you look at the tax cuts for the business, it is also great, because with the extra money that the corporate companies or corporates have, they can hire more people or invest to make the company better and grow more. And eventually the American economy can benefit from this. However, there is one downside of this tax plan, and that is with the decrease of the taxes, the government will have lesser tax money income to cover the other government spending. At least that is in theory, but in reality that is not always the case, because the tax decrease can also lead to increase into tax income. That happens because with the tax cuts, people have more money to spend, which will lead into an increase of tax income on consumer goods. And the more products and services that are being sold, the more the company wants to produce more, and they will hire more people or invest more to increase their capacity to fulfill the demand for the products and services. So in this way, eventually they will hire more people, and more people are working, the more income the government can have on the tax part. And because of this, that will lead into a boost on growth on the American economy. Now, at point 2, what Donald was referring to is reducing regulations. Now, Donald is planning to reduce a lot of regulations, especially in the energy industry. Now, this measure can lead into a job growth as well, as company will have more space on the balance to invest more, or people can start their own business more because there is no regulations that can hold them back. And number 3, negotiate trading deals. Now, this is the one point where we cannot see how much it will impact us at this moment, because it all depends on what kind of deal they can make on trading deals. And since that Donald Trump has a lot of experience in this area, we think that they can make a lot of good deals for our country, but we will have to see what they can do and wait for the result to judge on that. Point number 4, invest in infrastructure. Now, Donald wants to invest in rebuilding roads, rebuilding bridges, and building new airports. He often reminds us how terrible our roads and airports looks like, and with the investment in infrastructure, it often leads growth into the economy and in new jobs. Now let's take a look at Hillary Clinton's economic plan. Now, if you take a look at Hillary Clinton's economic plan, then you will see that she focused on the following points. Number 1, raising income taxes and a 4% extra for those who earn more than $5 million a year. Number 2, raise minimum wages to 12 to 15 US dollar per hour. Number 3, investment in infrastructure. And number 4, debt-free colleges. And number 5, investing in job training programs. Now, let's take a closer look on Hillary Clinton's economic plan. Now, number 1, raise income taxes and 4% extra for those who earn more than 5 million US dollar. Now, Hillary, instead of decreasing tax, she increases tax for everybody. And with that extra tax money that she would be receiving, the government will be receiving, she plans to use it to invest in the American economy and infrastructure. Now, there are pros and cons to this plan, so let's start with the pro. And that is the tax revenue for the government will go up. Now, which gives the government more money to invest in the economy like Hillary is planning, or they can use that money to pay off the government's debt. And the con to this plan is that everybody will have lesser money in the pocket because of the increase on taxes. For companies, they can have negative effect on the American economy because they have to pay more in taxes and this way have lesser money to invest in growth of their business. But if there's something goes wrong with the economy, then the companies will have lesser of a cushion to make sure that the company can survive the economic crisis, and therefore most likely they have to fire more people. Now, for the American citizens, this tax plan will make sure that they also have lesser money to spend or to buy stuff that they want. And for the people who live from paycheck to paycheck, they will struggle a little bit more. Let's move to the second point, that is raising minimum wages to 12 to 15 US dollar per hour. In general, we like this idea very much because the current living cost goes up every year and the salary growth is very behind. However, this can have a negative effect because already of the tax plan increase of Hillary. Companies will face a higher cost because the employee cost increase and also the tax cost. So that will be lesser interesting for them to hire new employees or take risk on hiring new employees. Let's move to point number 3, investment in infrastructure. Like Donald, Hillary wants to invest in infrastructure as well, which we think is really a good idea. Number 4, investing in job trainings. This idea we like very much as well, because let's face it, everything is being computerized where it is possible, because it is cheap and more efficient. So the economy is changing and it's changing fast. Workplaces are changing, so we need to help people out to make sure that they have the skill that the new jobs are required. Old industries are going away, new industries will arise, and we have to make sure that the people from the old industry are qualified enough to do the new jobs of the new economy. For now, we think that the Donald's economic plan is the best one, because the economy of the United States is still weak. It is not growing strongly yet. We need a stronger growth. Now, with Donald's economic plan, we can achieve that. Although many analysts say it is impossible to do what Donald is suggesting, but let me remind you, they were also wrong with estimating of how far Donald Trump would come into this election. Hillary Clinton's economic plan is claimed by others as realistic, but the growth is too small. the growth rate will be around of 1 to 2%, which is what we are having at the moment. In the long term, however, the Clinton's economic plan will pay off, but that's gonna take a long time, like 5 to 7 years, and that is way too long in our opinion, because in our opinion we think we need a change in results fast on short term, where we can benefit from it as soon as possible, as well in the long term. And because of that, we think the Donald's economic plan is the best fit for them. You might have heard something about that the richest will benefit the most from Donald's tax plan, but to be honest with you, we don't really care much what the richest are doing or what they are benefiting from. All we care is that at the end of the month we have enough money and resources to build our own future and our own happiness. Now with Hilary's plan, it will be a little bit more difficult to achieve our own dream, because she will hit us in our wallet with her tax plan. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to watch more of these kinds of videos, then please subscribe to our channel. We would appreciate that very much. Thank you and have a good trade.